Good morning, fellow Earthlings, friendly aliens from far off worlds, and creatures big, small. Cheers. Springtime, planting time. Mm, mm, oh my. What do we have here? Nothing serious. YouTube sure is a funny place. People subscribe, never get a notification. They show up, oh, I didn't know you were alive. Well, it's something unreliable and undependable. But just want to chit chat about direct sewing. I'm doing direct sewing now. I did that past couple days. And thanks for the thumbs up. And yeah, it's really interesting. Fifi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Just having a chit chat about direct sewing. Yep, there we go. Get you a blue jacket there while you're here. There you go, Fifi. I've watched some of your videos. Pretty cool stuff you do. You're very self sufficient. Oh, yeah, everything's great. We got a cup of coffee. It's a rainy day, but hey. Cheers, Fifi. Good to see you. Oh, my. Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. Yep. So, succession crops with direct. So, there's a line here, say, of kale. And if you're into baby kale, well, that's lower oxalate. So just above that, another row in 2-3 weeks, and another row in 2-3 weeks. And then, you can get 5 or 6 crops of kale, baby kale, more every year. Yesterday, I went out and foraged Claytonia porfoliata. I think it's called the Latin name or something. Miner's lettuce, my grandma always called it. We always went and harvest that, and watercress. Watercress is just beautiful. My grandma, she lived, I don't know, 80 something years old, and grandfather lived probably a little less than that, but his mother lived 109 or something like that. Eat your greens. Yesterday, I picked up some miner's lettuce. There was a whole outcropping of it going down the side of the hill. I was surprised to find it. I never even knew it was there. See, it only lasts for like a month or so, and then it's gone till next year. But then you go on to other crops like after the miner's lettuce. There's a lot of other greens, and that's part of my trip coming up is to harvest herbs and greens. But I won't be washing my greens very much. I don't want to wash them because I want the microbes on them, and they're in the wild. They're away from people, so and they're away from golf courses. They're away from industrial, commercial, humans. It's out and about, and I'm doing a little better than I used to. Nice. I love it when we can forage as the greens come up. And that's what I do every year. And I put up a video yesterday. Hey, what's going on? Snow is going to melt this week again. Just growing indoors. Hey, you're growing. That's cheers to you. Growing's growing. Hmm. So yeah. So sewing right now. I'm doing direct sewing because I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling, going fishing, sightseeing, gold panning, that kind of thing. So what I've decided to do is just do some direct sew. I've got a couple of potters with stuff in it, but nothing significant. And I've been planting my gladiolas. I did that. I like to take them out, but you can leave them in the ground here, and dahlias too, which is the rest of Canada, not so much. But yeah, so direct sow, succession crop, and let nature do the work. And timing is the key here. Because if you start right now where I am, well, Shawnee Gross has snow on the ground, and Fifi, I don't know what you got on the ground there. You're on the East Coast in Maine or something. I forget. Sorry, forgive me. But direct sowing is incredible. Nature, when you go outside, you look at the forest growing by itself, and it's nice and healthy. That's what you want with direct sow and succession crops. Yes, I saw that you planted more bulbs, and I was wondering if you're planting more or if you pulled it out to replant. No, I do take out some in case it gets too cold here, like the dahlias and glads, but I certainly didn't need to this year because we didn't get any snow. And I live in Canada, and there's no snow on southern Vancouver Island to speak of. There was some up in the mountains, and about an hour's drive from here there was some, but not in the city here or on the outskirts in the suburban area. We had five frost days, three solid ones, and then two or three of little tiny little bit of frost. But we never got the winter. And my one of my family members left their Valencia lemon out all winter, and it's doing beautiful. It's most healthy look, and it's huge too. I've done videos of it. They did for like a week, put on lights and a cloth for about a week. Yeah, you keep placing me in Maine. Maybe it should start with Maine and then Massachusetts, maybe? I don't know. I'm sorry. There's a lot of people out here. Forgive me. There's a ton of people on here, Fifi. And there's 1.3 billion people on YouTube. That's a lot of people. And it's interesting, social media, the companies are all having to build electrical grids and warehouses just to house their mainframe computers and stuff to handle all those, just the social media. I mean, that's crazy. I want to just get back to foraging. Yesterday, I had a great forage day. I ended up making. I bought organic carrots from Mexico. Long, huge, and they taste really like carrots. Like not just something you're crunching on, which happens a lot. All my snow is gone. Good. Snow is good. You need those cold hours. We never got them here, and I'm expecting low fruit production this year because I don't have a lot of the hybrid species. I basically made my own. So they need cold hours. A lot of these fruit trees now, they don't need cold hours like they used to. It's a manufactured tree, so to speak. So, yeah. But I'm going to try to stay on topic because I'm only on here for an hour. And the big thing is direct sow. So I already put in the peas. Soon as there's no more frost, I put peas in. If there is still a light frost here and there, I put in kale. And then in between all that, I'll direct sow chard, beets, yeah, and fava beans. I put in fava beans right now. They do really well, and especially when it's cold. And no, seriously, we had more than we could ever need this year. I'm ready for spring and summer. We never got any snow here. My snow shovel looks lonely sitting out up against the wall. And I bought all this. I bought 250 pounds of salt because I was tired of people coming and going from the place here in the winter time and slipping and falling, and you don't get much help from the town or anything. So what I had planned to do was make a path all the way out with one of my guys that helped me out, and then make it up and down the street here and keep it salted. Never happened. So I gave away half the salt. I thought, what am I going to do with all the salt? And if this continues, this trend, I'm like, So, yeah. But right now it's cool weather crops. Adrian, welcome. Adrian's in the UK. It's got a channel. And there you go, Adrian. And as far as I know, and I've known him a couple, 3 years now, and he's a pretty good guy. How about radishes? Oh yeah, direct sow them right now. I'm just ready to go out there and direct sowing, but I have to wait a few more weeks. Well, I would start with the fava beans. I don't know what your conditions are. But fava beans and peas and radishes is number one. But there's so many kinds of radishes, and it only takes 21 days. But once it cools off, radishes don't grow anymore. The timing must be right. And you know what? Big deal if you're too early. Cover it with some shade cloth or something so it doesn't freeze down there. A lot of things can take. Yes, it's too cool. Yes, yes. Now that being said and done, you got a piece of black plastic down on the ground, and you're popping in like kale or chard or whatever you're popping in there. You're going to get that faster because the black plastic's going to warm the ground, right? And you get a feel for it, right? It's easy for me to say, but you get a feel for it, like what you're going to plant, and that's just the way it is. And but cool weather crops, just remember the name, cool weather, right? Cold weather, not so much. Cool weather. And that's when you're going to get your asparagus up first. Boom. That's the first thing to come up. That's what comes up here. And I went harvesting wild asparagus yesterday, and they're only like this big, right? And I was expecting them to be, you know, so I took some home here, and I'm going to plant it out back here. And there was whole beds from this old restaurant that they grew like herbs and asparagus and huge beds of asparagus. So, but then it grew wild last year. So I'm going to go back and trim back the old asparagus seeds that went up, because there's like 10 by 6 raised beds of asparagus. And it's not far from the Claytonia perfoliata, I think. Some guy put down that I wasn't saying the last part of the Claytonia. Everybody knows it's Claytonia. Some people get picky. Whatever. Now I've said my brain to say the whole word. It's miner's lettuce. That's what my grandmother called it. And that's what you ate first in the spring. And then after that, you're getting into your, like violets, and you're getting into dandelions, and you're getting into, that kind of thing. Like here we harvest a few different things like Oregon grape leaves, salal leaves. And there's some things that I eat that I don't even know like the name of them. And I just know they're edible because I ate them before. And I hung out with the people that foraged off the land. Foraging is the coolest because that's where you're going to get your microbes. Like soon as you wash your food, there goes all your microbes. And then you want to, if you're washing all your food, you want to put fermented foods back into you so you have gut flora. And there's so many kinds of fermented foods for, you want for your gut flora to grow. I mean, bananas are for your gut flora. I didn't know that until just a couple of years ago. I'm like, bananas, but there's microbes in the banana that you need, and olives. It's a fermented food. Kimchi, but and sauerkraut. I make my own sauerkraut. I buy some and I eat a bit of it, and then I buy or make a whole salted cabbage and I chop it up really fine, because at the end of the meal, so my microbes don't die, and it's you want the peptides for your gut flora lining, so that way you don't keep gaining weight. You're actually feeding the microbes, and you go down. There's a misconception there. Oh, fermented foods list: cinnamon, apples, ginger, carrots, beet. Yes, I have a lot more to try. Yes. There's anything that's fermented or pickled. It has the microbes, but foraging has microbes that doesn't. It's not in that fermented food. It's different microbes. And what you want, what for a healthy human being, you want your gut flora and your biome to be active and always building. But there's new information coming out on peptides all the time. Okay, all the time. I'm seeing stuff all the time. Plus, I hang out with a couple of scientists that study that stuff, but I'm not smart like them, but I can be a parrot. Diverse microbiome. Absolutely. Yeah, 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 absolutely. And when you pet your dog, the microbes that were on the dog, and you're like, and then you're breathing them, you're, from what I can gather, you're adding like 3 to 5 days of longevity. Like just for petting your dog, right? But when you see people, washing their vegetables, washing their fruit, I don't have a problem with that, especially if it's been sprayed. But hey, why are you washing all the way the microbes, right? Like you're in a catch there that's not conducive to healthiness. And like citrus, I mean, there's 3 times as much vitamin C in the peel, but who's going to eat the peel with all the red dye number 5 and whatever, they spray on ethylene in the field to ripen it and all kind of crap. What? Petting the dog? I never knew. I know, right? Yeah, people that pet the dog, like an animal, and then the microbes go on you. That's for your gut. I know. I didn't know either, but some really smart people I know. Hey, Native Katsu, good to see you. I'm a friend of mine. There you go. Always a pleasure. Hey, I'm waving back to you. Yeah, she has a channel, and it's pretty cool. And she has guests on there. And Howie, have you ever used a brick refractometer? Not personally. I know a little bit about it, but no, I've never used one. But I know people that do, I think. No. So, but hey, good. I think it's a good thing. And yeah. Howie, okay. Yeah. How do you think about what? Howie, do you think what? How do you think about boron, manganese, sulfur in the soil? It's good to see you too, Katsu. Yeah, I've been over to your channel a million times tonight. I know your channel name, but I don't know your name. But I've gone there quite a few times over the years. It's really nice to go there. You're nice people, and your guests are really awesome. Yeah, reading the sugars in the leaf sap sounds way cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sugar is, you need sugar, but how much do you need all the time in your blood, right? So if you know there's many ways to get sugar. I mean, carbohydrates are sugar, but when you're direct sowing greens, that's not high in sugar. But when you're picking like fruit out of the store that's been ripened and it sits there and it's gaining more and more sugar, eh, Valerie. Wow, nice to meet you, Val. I've never actually asked you because it's social media. So thank you kindly for introducing yourself. Yeah, reading the sugars in the leaf sap sounds way cool. Yeah. Oh, I've sown puppies and delphinium for cold stratification. Yes, yes. I'll be planting in a cold frame next week to make starts of broccoli, cabbage, kohlrabi, lettuce, Chard and Urban's here. Good channel. Really smart human being. If you have a question, she generally knows a really good answer for you. And I've been to her channel many, many, many times. And we'll always go back to Urban Gardening Chronicles because it's a cool channel. And there's cool people hanging out there. And she doesn't put up with any nonsense. You come in there messing around, you get your ass kicked off channel in a hurry, I'll tell you. Hey, oh yeah, hey, Fifi knows you. Cool. Yep. But direct sowing and not washing those vegetables from your direct sowing in the cool times like this. Okay, when it's cool, there's no bad microbes really going to grow unless you put them there like fresh chicken manure or something, right? But when I'm harvesting kohlrabi, I'm harvesting chard, I'm harvesting kale, leeks, potatoes. I'm harvesting all that now, and I've actually have a prime rib roast in my slow cooker, and I loaded it up with all the veggies from out there, sunchokes, you name it. The thing about sunchokes too, a lot of people go, "Oh, they're gaseous, they're gas." It's because you're not used to eating them and you have poor gut flora. Yeah, and eat a couple of raw sunchokes every day. You'll be fine. You're only going to be doing that for a month or two because then they're too woody. Yep, you're getting it. Yes. Oh yes, that smoked food. So yeah, and that's another thing. Smoked food has like carbon, right? So it's actually clean. Good morning, Urban and Fifi. Good morning. And yeah, so like when you get stuff from the store, you don't know who the hell scratched their backside and touched that food. Okay, I got it. I get it. I'm not a fan of that either. But when it comes out of my garden, and I know what's gone on there and in the vicinity, I will eat that raw for the microbes. I will pet the dog. I like your microbes, right? And your fermented foods, there's more vitamin C in sauerkraut than there is in an orange. And if you want double the vitamin C, eat the orange peel. But guess what, folks? You don't want to eat that aruba wax or shellac or red dye number, whatever, and then the ethylene gas. Not interested. So I grow my own citrus and I relish eating it. I'm like, oh, this is good, 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 good. Yeah, and that's what I do. And I have improved my health somewhat, but unfortunately, some other things come up. But I mean, when you're pushing well over a half century old, some things are going to go wrong. And I had to work really hard. I raised some children, so I had to, yeah, shellac. Oh, food, yuck. Who created that? There's someone that had no scruple or couth and just wanted money. Yesterday, it tastes better when you grow it because you get to eat it. Yeah. Yeah, like when I was foraging yesterday, I was going on and I felt like I was a big cow. And I was eating the fennel, I was eating the bed straw, I was eating little tiny asparagus, and I was eating the miner's lettuce and some other things I ate. I can't remember, but I never washed it. I'm not. Why would you wash off the microbes? I'll tell you why. Because you bought it from a store. That's the only time that you can say, "Okay, yeah, I'll eat." Valerie, woohoo! I remembered your name. I'll be listening, but I'll be driving for quite a while home from work. Well, have a safe trip, and we'll be right here. And yeah, thanks for listening. I appreciate you. And I've been over to Valerie's channel quite a bit over the years and years. And it's always a fun time, a very good fun time. And okay, don't say fennel. Urban is here. She loves fennel. Well, there are many kinds of fennel. Bulb fennel is my favorite. I mean, let's face it, it's beautiful eating. And it goes well with cod or fish. And you chop it up really small, really tiny after you've cooked your fish and then just sprinkle it, or you can cook it in with the fish. Okay. But there are other kinds of fennel too. And then a Bill from Wickershire said that dog fennel, I've never even heard of that. This morning he left a message that it's slightly toxic. And I'm like, well, I've never even heard of it. And I certainly wouldn't eat anything that's toxic. Now, that being said and done, fennel can mess with your blood pressure. Okay. And I read that. I'm just being a parrot. And so, be careful with what you use, right? How much you use it. How old is the plant? Who touched that plant with their microbes, right? That's the key here. But when you do succession crops, direct sow, like radishes, kale, spinach, beets, whatever it is in the cool weather, they only grow when it's cool weather. As soon as it gets hot, there's a problem. They don't grow. They go to seed and bolt. And that doesn't matter what you buy. People can say this and say that. But, there's a lot of herbs and a lot of rooted vegetables and leafy greens that grow in the cool weather times. Yes, dill and cilantro, those are two of the number ones. Cilantro can go in where I am right here right now, but dill, they have to wait another couple, 3 weeks. But this year I had planned, and I still do, where should I plant the fennel? Cool, damp, or hot, full sun? They like hot, full sun. Now, that being said and done, they do like a little bit of rain and salty water. Blackberries like salty water. You never hear anybody say that a plant or a tree likes salty water. But go down to the ocean, pick some blackberries that are growing beside the ocean that get that salt spray all the time. Delicious, big fat ones. And they actually, that's where you find blackberries the longest and the earliest. So yeah, Arky, did I hear herbs? Yes, you did, Arky. Arky is a really good channel. He loves to be a vocalist. He does singing, and he does a lot of survivalist video tips, and he does quite a few live streams. He shows how he cooks outside right on the ground. For people that are not used to cooking outside on the ground, go see Arky. He does it a lot. And I do too. I love cooking outside. I don't like cooking in a house. Stinks the house up. Hello, hello, hello. This is my friend from India, a new friend. I'm going to give you a jacket while you're here because she likes to build her channel, but also she does cooking and growing food. So yeah. Hello, hello, hello. And yeah, growing your channel. Some people in some countries really need this channel because it's a little bit extra income. And in this country, it's the same thing. But anyway, all kinds of money streaming goes into one. You know, people are trained that way. Hi, how are you? Okay? I'm fine. I'm great. Cheers. Good to see you. And so when you sign up to people's account and you click the button, there's a thumbs up, and you liked it, and you left a comment. And the more people do that to channels that are really trying hard, like Shawnee Grows, like 5 times, thank you kindly. This is what I'm talking about here. And you know, and Urban. And when you go to these channels, if you like something, by all means, say you like it, and share it. And that's the only way someone that really trying hard, like these people, are going to make a money stream from social media. You have to like it. You look at my long video. No, I haven't. I'm sorry. This is an impromptu live. And I finally ended up getting my heat worked out in the house. And I'm sitting here going, oh, this is nice and warm. Feels like the hot spring I was just in. I cranked it up. I thought, well, the technician said I could crank it. So Sweet Time. Hello, everybody. Sweet Time. That's a nice name, Sweet Time. And go to channel. I like putting time on my roast. Okay, you only have 3 subscribers, Sweet Time. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Cheers. Yeah. But direct sowing, it's in your blood to know when. And it's in my blood to now know. I had a really good friend over, and they helped me make curvy lines through I don't like straight lines in my food forest. I never was one for that. I'd done it, but yeah. Oh, Sweet Thumb. Nice to see you, Sweet Thumb. They're like a trap plant, Urban. Oh, okay. Whoa. What's going on? But mine never grow well, Phoebe. All I get are caterpillars. Oh, yeah. Well, there's an imbalance there. I heard of an activation tea with mint, thyme, and blueberries for energy. For the human, you mean? Or the plant? I think you're saying human. Hit the thumbs up, folks. Yep, there's Arky. But you know, oh, goody question for human. Okay, well, you know what? Like, you got to take care of your gut flora. That's your second brain. British researchers found it in, go billion years ago. I don't know dates or times, but but you have this brain, but there's also a gut brain that's telling your body a whole bunch of hundreds of different things to do every day. Now, if you constantly eat high carbs, high refined foods, are you going to have a gut flora? No. What you're going to have is diabetes, heart attack, and a whole host of other crappy old stuff. Now, your gut is like super thin, like microscopic thin. So it's easy to, your gut lining, it's easy to get a hole in it. So you have leaky gut. But when you have direct sowed food in your environment and you eat that food and then you eat your fermented food, you're constantly healing up your gut. And that's what you have to do. And you know, like people that don't eat meat, they have a low vitamin B, and then they got problems. I mean, they're healthy, but you know, I'm a meat eater and fish eater, and that's as simple as that. Good to see you, sweet thumb. And yeah, so I like eating meat and vegetables. My favorite thing to eat is free range beef, wild fish, wild turkey, wild pigs, boar, and vegetables from my food forest. And when I forage, now I just started foraging yesterday. Unfortunately, it didn't go really high it didn't get pushed out by YouTube. But I found out that you have to have choice words and you're only allowed two videos or three videos a day, of shorts or whatever. I don't pay any attention to that. I just put it up, right? No, because I put up a couple three the day before, so it went really low numbers. But the more people you encourage to forage, the more people will get better health. And humans are supposed to forage. You're not supposed to be put in a cubicle for the rest of your life. That's for some zoo animal that doesn't know, but they only have a 2-year-old human IQ. No, I'm not into that. Yeah, you need to get out, get oxygen, go get your fish, go get your clams, go get your snails, go get your oysters, go get your seaweed, go get your meat. Like get a hunting license and go get your deer, elk, buffalo, or moose. And so what? It costs you $1,000 or $2,000 to get it. What's your health worth? So all of this that I'm talking about comes back to direct sowing every 2 weeks of cool weather crops and not washing them. A really good guy, I just watched his video, and he harvested greens out of his garden, and he's washing the crap out of them. I'm like, well, that's all fine and dandy, but whatever's in your garden, right? Now there are outside factors and cofactors that you can bring inside, but the outside factors, it brings a different dynamic because you don't know what's there. Now, if you've made your soil, you know what's there, and then year after year, you're getting the IMOs are making most, not all, toxins inert. It doesn't touch cesium-137 though, or something like that. Like that's radiation half-life, million years, shit like that. That's a bad one. I just watched a video. I have really good friends in Japan. Hey, yeah, they don't talk about the Fukushima there. It's too depressing. And all the village that happened around, they've dismantled the houses and put them inside of boxes, and then the dirt that's contaminated, they've bagged it all up so it doesn't continue leaching. They're trying their best. Hey, you got to wonder about what was it, 3 Mile Island or something like that in New York? What happened there? Where's all that stuff? Ish. Totally agree. You only need hunting and fishing license to fill the freezer, not a big box store membership. Absolutely. Having the rhyme of continuous planting and filling the gaps. That's harmony. And exactly, what is your health worth? Yeah, here you go. You're talking my yes, Fifi. I know Fifi goes out and hunts and goes fishing and grows her food and raises her own stock. Like, It's incredible. You raise a few turkeys, a few chickens, meat birds, dual purpose birds for egg laying and meat. And you're pretty much covering that. It's like 27% of your average earnings goes towards food. Okay. Is it a pile of crap, that food? Yeah. 85% of what you buy at a store is crap. And I'm being generous at 85. I think it's 100%. But I mean, but I have to put in that 15% because it was someone that did the research and I didn't. So the bugs have mutated as well over there. Having the rhyme of continuous planting and filling the gaps. You know what? The reason why you have a crappy looking plant is because you have crappy soil. You've put something in there. You've killed all the wasp, or you don't put down biochar that's loaded and fermented that it doesn't hurt your microbes. Gardening is the simplest thing that a human can do to produce food, but it's also, there's an oxymoron here, it's the most complicated. Okay? It's complicated. It's simple, but it's complicated. You can keep it simple, or you can get complicated. And if you don't know what you're doing, then you have to base everything on concept of observation. That's why now it's coming to spring. It's time to forage. It's time to get out. Because it's cold, you can go and get the seaweed. You can go and get the clams and oysters, right? And all that stuff that's left over gets crushed up, chopped up, and thrown in there. The smaller you make something in your pathway soil bank or your compost, the faster microbes break it down and make nutrients available. Okay. If you review your food budget, you might really be surprised. I know I was pretty much eating my paychecks. Well, it depends if you're a frugal eater or you're growing, and there's a lot of variables. I mean, there's a ton. But the one thing to remember is you're looking after yourself. So grow what you eat and eat what you grow. That's number one. I mean, are you going to grow a ton of tomatoes and you don't really eat tomatoes, but once a year? Well, there you go. Some people can't eat tomatoes because of the lycopene. It's an undigestible protein. It's not good. So, there's different factors. There's tons of different factors on tons of different food. Generally speaking, food that's grown in your area is meant for you to consume. When you take something from the tropics and bring it here, no, not so much. And I read that years ago about stuff from herbal healers and the old women of the forest that boil up the pot of herbs and noticed that some herbs, heal up and others don't. You can figure it out. Shawnee Gross says vanilla beans, coffee, chocolate, citrus are things that do not grow near me. When thinking of world disruption, that would make these hard to get. Acclimating our bodies off those things. Yeah, that's exactly it. And the thing is, you can have a little bit of that. It's just once a month or something like that. It's not something that you sit there and continuously have. And chocolate, 80%, it's really healthy for earthlings, no matter where you are on the planet. The rest, no, not so much, like you said. Red peppers to get your vitamin C instead of oranges. Well, the big thing is people peel the orange, throw the peel away, and eat the orange. Well, you're not even getting 10% of the vitamin C, or 20% of the vitamin C is what you're getting. The rest is in the peel, and all the oils that are in the peel. And the only reason oranges are orange is because they were brought from Asia to the cooler climates like the Mediterranean to, southern France. And the cool weather turned them orange. Before that, they were all green. And that was to protect them from the photosynthesis in the high heat, okay? Oranges are an interesting thing, citrus. I grow a lot of citrus, and I'll tell you, I cannot buy citrus that I like. I don't care if it says organic on it. I just don't give a rat's butt. It's not for me. I really tried. I washed it. I'm like, washing my food? I'm like, that's just going against the rain, man. Yeah, growing potatoes, chard, winter squash, melons to get potassium instead of bananas. Use maple syrup instead of vanilla extract. Exactly. Maple syrup has a ton of minerals as long as it's not too refined. Once you get into cooking it, it's acrylamide. Okay. And so drinking fresh birch sap, maple syrup sap, and just about any sap from any tree, really. There's a couple you don't, but some will get you drunk after you've extracted it, like cottonwoods and Lombardy poplars and stuff. If you leave that for 24 hours, you got booze the next day. So be careful with what you drink. But all round leaf trees and some conifers have not evergreens. Don't do this with evergreens, but they have a cambium layer. People starve to death or eat. They become a cannibal, like on the Donner Party, right in front of all this food. So the cambium layer is underneath the bark, and you strip it off and you boil it up and you make it softer and you pound the crap out of it, and then you can eat it. It's called cambium. And a lot of people just don't ever learn enough and actually go out and practice enough cambium extraction. And you're not killing the tree, you're actually helping the tree. It becomes a higher immunity when it's wounded. Save seeds from the land. Remember the gardener's hand. Yeah, cool. Use me. Yeah. But on a serious note, there, when you're foraging, try not to forage where people walk their dog, because or people spit. That's not so good. Just remember, watching videos of canning orange peels years ago, need to rewatch. Yeah, orange peels has a lot of vitamin C, but so does rose hips. And a lot of people don't use rose hips, but I do. I'll actually peel off, and inside the bulb of the rose bulb, there's glycans on the seeds that can get caught in your throat. So you really have to be cool. Foraging is such a journey. Well, the thing is, you know what? I've noticed over the years that I've seen people start foraging. They actually can smell and kind of squish it and smell. And I'd ask them, like, do you think that's edible? And they're like, yeah. And after years of hanging out with me, I test them, and they've never failed. You have intuition. You have built-in gauges inside you to know that not to eat that. Now, if you panic, you're not in tune with nature, you're going to screw up and you probably get sick. But you have built-in gauge inside you. I'm calling it a gauge, but it's like almost an intuition, spider sense. And so I tested a few people over the years. Would you eat that plant right there? And just looking at it would be euphorbia or whatever it is. It's toxic and it'll kill you, right? And they're like, no, I wouldn't eat that. And I'm like, you're right, you wouldn't even touch that. And you can look, there's no animal eating it, so why would I do it? But foraging is going to happen for the next couple of months. I'm going to be in the forefront of it all, and that's what I'm eating every day. Good morning, sweet time. Just remember, yeah, good morning, sweet time. But just remember, when you're foraging, forage where you're really comfortable that it's not contaminated. And why is my eye white right there? And it's not why. Okay. Just checking. But foraging and crop succession of crop planting and rotating of your crops are three things that I'll be doing. Like I don't do a lot of crop rotating because I don't have my chickens here anymore. I used to grow things for my chickens. I didn't give them a lot of food. And then at the end of the season, I would let my chickens, I'd have like 10, 15, 20 chickens, go out into the forest floor and just clean everything up that I left behind. And they would dig up sunchokes and eat them, potatoes. They would eat everything. And these are your free workers. They're your chicken workers. Boar or pig does the same thing. They go in and they eat all the soil and till it all up. That's what you want. They score the walnut or whatever with their teeth, and then they crap it out, and then it grows. Okay. So like some people stratify plants and this and that, or seeds and whatever they're doing. And just remember how in nature, where it comes from, how it reproduced. Quail seem like chickens on easy mode. I have some hatching eggs on order, also looking into rabbits. Smart, very smart thing to do. Quail are one of my favorites. Rhode Island red dual purpose bird is my favorite, but quail are they're equal. I love quail because they come and go, and I don't have to look after them. They come and go from the forested area here, and they go over into the sand dune. And believe it or not, there is a sand dune, a micro desert not far from here, and it's growing, this little micro desert. And yeah. So anyway, foraging, planting cool weather crops in succession. So when you first put the first crop down, 2 weeks later, depending on what you're growing, say it's radishes can go in every 21 days you harvest. So you don't want to harvest and then have none. So once a week, add your radishes. Also saw some ball-shaped cages protects the animals as they roam. Yeah, tractors. You can make a tractor for ducks, chickens, rabbits, whatever you want. Now, rabbits, where I live here, I wouldn't raise rabbits or quail. They both come and go from here. They're not an issue. And if I get hungry, I know. There's deer that come and go from here, but a lot less. Someone's been killing them, because there was one found a few years ago down the road here with an arrow in him. I'm like, oh, geez. And the deer, I plant things for the deer. I like the deer coming here. I like it. I mean, like if there's no food at the supermarket, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm sorry, I euthanized that deer, or whatever. In the paper, they spent I think it was like $176,000 to euthanize 11 deer in the municipality. You're nuts. Yeah, there's nothing up here. There's absolutely nothing. They all live in cubicles, and what was that? Well, people like that aren't going to make it. It's the one that knows when it gets too hot above the ground, and that's going to happen. It's inevitable, like it's happening right now in India. You got to go underground where it's nice and cool, right? There's a reason why bears, rabbits, foxes, wolves, a ton of different creatures, moles and voles, all live underground. Why? Because it's nice and cool, and it's too hot up there, and there's predators up there. So you go underground where it's safe, right? Simple as that. So yeah, coming up on the hour. Any questions? Because I'm out of here in about, I don't know, whenever the hour is up, in like 15 minutes or something. But if you have any questions about succession crops that I possibly could answer, or if you have something that you'd like to say it. And that's it, right? But when you get your seed, make new seed. Always save seed. And that's a whole art form in itself. And thank you for all the thumbs up. And you want to save seed, because if you save seed, you're not taking something from somebody else, and you don't know what the heck that ground it was growing on. You don't know too much. But if you grow it on your own ground, and it's really tough to save lettuce seeds. It's not easy. They're little tiny little seeds. And who's going to let something go to seed? I do, because it reproduces. It's as simple as that. But that was kind of weird. I've been thinking about raising rabbits, but I don't need to, because we have so many wild ones and they're tasty. Exactly. Starting a new bed, only have mulched leaves down. Will do pile of compost. Any ideas what to plant there? Well, for the first thing is, put down cardboard, some cardboard that with not a lot of ink on it. But if it does have ink on it, it's generally soya ink. But, on the safe side, make sure it's got no metal and no tape on it. As soon as you put that down on anything, like a lawn, wherever, then you can start putting your layers of green, brown, whether it's coffee grounds, leaves, lawn clippings, your compost that on top of that, and then biochar. Activating your biochar by putting it into water and adding the wood ash to the water. There's like a matrix inside of biochar. When you look in my videos and you look at any time I show the soil, there's lots of biochar, and now there's many ways to use biochar that's loaded with wood ash or other things. You can put compost tea in, whatever you want. But when I don't want slugs traveling from the neighbors to my patch here, I put that wood ash down raw. I don't load that into my biochar. I don't load the biochar at all. I want them to have a rough time getting to my beautiful arugula or whatever I'm growing. I want them to have a hard time. Yeah. So you learn, like some people just throw wood ash right onto their tree. I don't. You got problems. Okay. Some people put it around the tree from the trunk to the drip line. Okay. I don't do that either. I load my biochar because I want my healthy microbes to live there. So when I see people do that, they know that they don't know what they're doing. Simple as that. Oh, I love letting things go to seed and self-sow volunteers. Yeah, that's the best. It's the best. Sweet Time says, yes, I have tons of paper, bag, and compost. Shouldn't be under the leaves, but did that last year as well. Said compost meant cardboard. Yeah, so what happens is that you're creating home for your indigenous microorganisms that are already in the soil that you're putting the cardboard on. So your IMOs is what you want to break down any toxins, to break down nutrients so that the plant can uptake it. And you're making it into, it's pretty much soluble. So you if it's bigger, the biomass is big, it's not going to take in a lot of nutrients. Now, depending on what kind of plant it is, like if you're talking air plants or orchids, they really don't need a lot. They can grow on a tree that's alive, moss, whatever. So, when you look around, concepts of observation is key, and have a good time. If you're having a good time growing your own food, hunt, gather, and grow, you're going to be really good at it. But as soon as you get frustrated, you don't see the forest. You only see a tree. You don't see the whole forest, or vice versa. Yeah, but growing food is the most rewarding for your body, your microbes, for your biome. It's as simple as that. Waving back. But yeah, microbes from unwashed, unsprayed food from your garden is the best. Okay, and it's as simple as that. There is nothing better, right? And you're healing up. You're starting with that gut flora, and that's where it all starts at. As soon as you have problems with your gut lining, your gut problems, and it's hard. It takes years to heal up sometimes. Hey, whoa, whatever that was, I gotta go. That was a lot of noise. I think a tree just come down. Okay, gotta go. Dave Knight, take care. Good seeing you. End stream now. Bye. Sorry, there's something going on out there. There's something big crash happened. I must go. Sorry to miss you, Dave Knight. Bye for now. Shawnee and everybody that I missed, take care. Much love, mad respect. Mwah. Big crash. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. I gotta go.